guys, welcome back to Linda's Prepper Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to use dehydrated potatoes. These are not the frozen potatoes like you can buy in Walmart. These are fresh peeled potatoes that I had diced up and frozen on my dehydrator. If you haven't seen the video, I'll leave it linked in the description box below. But I'm going to show you two ways, I'm just not my glasses, two ways that you can use these potatoes in a meal. And there's many other ways to use these. These are wonderful to have, and you're about to find out. All right, so let's get over into the kitchen and let's get started. Okay, so for the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fry them up. Who doesn't love fried potatoes? I love them. So the first thing I'm going to do, I've got my pan heating up here. I'm going to pour in 1.5 cups of water. And I'm going to put about 1/2 to 3/4 cup of potatoes, of the dehydrated potatoes. Go ahead and make that about 3/4 cup. A couple more. There we go. Got our dehydrated potatoes in there. And of course I want them yummy. So I'm also going to add, where did it go? Some dehydrated bell peppers. Just a little, couple of tablespoons. I'm going to shake a little bit of red pepper flakes in there, because I like the heat. Also, I want to toss some dehydrated minced onions in there. I'm going to put the lid on, let these cook for just a few minutes, and then I'll bring you back. Alright guys, as you can see that I have cooked all the liquid out. I will tell you, I did add more liquid to this twice. So we started off by putting 1.5 cups of water. I think you might need to start off with 2 cups of water. It did take about 10 or 15 minutes for these to get rehydrated. Now, if you would have done these, sliced them, kind of like au gratin potatoes, a little round, they would have cooked up real quick. But now what I'm going to do, I have just a little bit of treat meat left. I'm going to put that in there. I'm just going to put a splash of oil in here because we're going to fry these. And if you have bacon grease on hand, you could use that. So now let's just get these on, fried up, flavored up. Let's put some salt and pepper on them. Get these fried up so we can get on with recipe number 2. Alright, let me let these cook for a few and I'll bring you right back. Alright, as you can see, they're starting to brown up nicely. Alright, let me get these plated up and carry over and we'll take a good look at them. Okay, there it is. Rehydrated, dehydrated potatoes, fried potatoes. Let me give them a taste and we'll get moving on to recipe number 2. Let's taste this. How are we going to know how well these came back? These are good, y'all. These are good. So y'all get you some potatoes dehydrated so that you can fry them up in one of those situations. Alright, let's go on over here and start recipe number 2. Okay, for recipe number 2, y'all, we are going to make some potato corn chowder. So I have a mixture of things on here. I have dehydrated corn on here as well as canned corn on here. I am going to probably use the canned corn, but you can also use the dehydrated corn. We've got milk. We've got chicken broth, dehydrated celery, pepper flakes, thyme, salt and pepper, 2 cups of dehydrated diced potatoes. You can use your minced onion, but I'm going to use, because I have it on hand, if I didn't, I would be using the minced onion. I'm going to be using frozen onions. some flour for thickening, and some bacon grease for flavor. If you don't have the bacon grease, you can use any fat left out of frying Spam or just whatever to give it any kind of flavor you choose, and also bacon bits. So let's get into making this. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a big old glog of this bacon grease, and I'm going to drop it right down here in the bottom of my pan. Let it get to melting up. That's where some of that flavor is going to be at. If you have pressure canned bacon, save that grease that comes off of it when you open your jar, y'all. Okay, so let's get this melting up and we'll move on to the next step. Alright, so my bacon fat is melted. It's actually a little hot, too hot. But so watch out, y'all. I'm going to put these onions in. So I'm adding my frozen onions. I'm just going to give them a quick cook and a toss around until they're al dente, which won't take long. If you have fresh celery on hand, now's the time to put that in as well. But I'm trying to go SHTF here, using just things from the pantry, with the exception of, you know, the onions. If you don't have fresh onions on hand, like I said, use the dehydrated. If you don't have any of these items fresh on hand, then you can use dehydrated corn, dehydrated celery. Yeah. All right, now that I've got the onions al dente, let's go ahead and I'm going to add about 1/3 of a cup of flour. Make it into kind of like a roux. Let me get this mixed up and cooked up for about a minute to cook that floury taste off, and I'll bring you back. All right, now that our roux is cooked up, I have a 32-ounce chicken broth. We're going to pour that on in here. Uh-oh, I put some salt and pepper in here. I forgot to hit the record button again, but I just added salt and pepper. So now we just have the roux, which has the onions in it, the chicken broth. Now I'm going to put 2 cups of the dehydrated potatoes. I'm going to put 32 ounces of Gossamer milk. Okay. I'm going to put approximately 1/4 of a cup of dehydrated celery. About the size of your palm. Get that sprinkled in there. And I'm going to put 1/2 teaspoon of thyme. Now you do you on the thyme. I'm not a huge, I like thyme, but I don't like too much thyme. It overpowers it to me. A lot of people like the taste of thyme, and if you are one of those, then I would put 1 teaspoon of the thyme in here. So now that we got the potatoes and the celery in, now I'm going to put the lid on and we're going to let this simmer for about 30 minutes. I'll bring you back. Now why did y'all do that? Y'all almost let me forget to put the garlic powder in. Sorry about that, guys. So just put garlic powder to your taste. I'm going to put about, I'd say about 1 teaspoon. And I'm also going to put about 1 teaspoon of pepper flakes. All right. All right, guys. We've been simmering for about 30 minutes now. Now's time. I have 2 cans of corn. You can use, like I said, the dehydrated corn, frozen corn, canned corn. I'm going to dump the 2 cans of the drained corn in here. I'm also going to put 1 can, this is a Great Value brand, cream of chicken soup. One spoon don't fit in there. Let's get us another one. Get it all in there. I'm gonna raise that up just a little bit so you can see better what I'm doing. There you go. I think you can see better. Anyway, get all that in there. All right. I'm also going to put 1 can of the cream style corn. All right, guys, here it is. Let me get this dished up in a bowl and we'll carry it over, take a look at it, give it a taste test, and talk about it. All right, so let's get the cream style corn down in there. All right. And I'm going to put about half of this bag of the bacon bits down in there and save the other half so people can put it in their own dish if they want to. Give this a good mix. Get it all combined up. Then I'm going to let it simmer for about 15 more minutes and I'll bring you back. Let's see, there we go. There it is. Doesn't that look yummy? Let me add a little bit of bacon bits on top. Now, all right, let me give this a taste test and see how it tastes. Those came back really well. The potatoes got nice, soft, and tender. But do keep in mind, the thicker that you dehydrate those potatoes, the longer it's going to take to rehydrate them. And eventually it may get to a point where you're going to just have to cook and cook and cook. But these are a perfect size. The soup is yummy. The fried potatoes turned out delicious. Yes. So give these both a try. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know if you have any recipe ideas for dehydrated potatoes. Leave your tips and tricks in the comments below. It is a sharing, caring community. And I'll see y'all next time back at Linda's Prepper Kitchen. Y'all keep on keeping on out there.